Hey everyone, and welcome to another update video. Here I'll be talking about something I've been meaning to cover, along with some other things. First and foremost, I want to discuss my decision to expand my content to more than just Garry's Mod, which you probably noticed in the new banner I've been using on here and on Twitter. And for those that keep an eye on my community tab, while this is mainly based on a post from there are some things I do want to expand upon, so let's begin. So, if any of you haven't noticed already, one new type of content I'm primarily planning to make is Smash Brothers content, which would be beyond simple things like gameplay uploads or Smash News reactions that feature some of my friends. Silliness in Smash Bros. Was something I did to kick that off in a way. Now, you may have seen this coming with some of my Garry's Mod animations centering around Smash a little, especially with Vicious Cycle of Smash for example, which has gained quite a lot of traction at the time of recording. However, that said, there is one thing I do want to make clear. I am not planning to quit making Garry's Mod videos anytime soon, nor am I going to have Smash Bros. Videos replace my content. Now then, if the views that most of my non-Gmod videos have are of any indication, I'm well aware that a great chunk of my subscribers are here for my Garry's Mod content, which I've been doing since 2012, even if I am not that proud of my older content. That aside though, I've at least noticed a handful of people don't seem to mind this, so I guess that's off to a good start.
Briefcase, you haven't been uploading that many Garry's Mod videos as of late. I mean, the last one you uploaded was 5 months ago.
Yes, I'm aware of that too, and there's 3 reasons that come into play about why I am looking to expand my content, therefore my audience, so please listen closely since I really hope you will all understand. The first thing I want to say is that even as a content creator, your life comes first. For those not in the know by now, via my own update video from last year, or the Inverted Shadows Q&A video, or some other method, I'll condense it for you. So less than 2 years ago, I was fighting a battle with leukemia, and I pretty much spent most of 2018 recovering from it. I am well now for the most part, but even today, there's things I still have to do every now and then in order to keep myself in check. If you add all of that with how I also started college in 2018, then you pretty much have a recipe for why I've mostly been busy save for the weekends. If you're still unfamiliar with this matter from 2017, there will be links in the description if you need a better understanding of it. Second, when it comes to any kind of content I do, I like to prioritize quality over quantity. I feel like this should be self-explanatory. Even if I do something as short as a collab entry, or some adaptations of some Gmod classics, I usually do my best to put a distinctive amount of effort into them. Though I feel like it's a little subjective depending on how you all see it, but in the end, this and my busyness with life are usually why there is quite the gap between my Gmod videos. Though, in this case, I've actually been busy working on part 3 of Quest of the Kirby's whenever I could. Now, the previous thing overlaps into this last reason, which is actually the biggest reason regarding the lack of Gmod videos here. Good Garry's Mod videos take time to make. As much as I love creating these videos, this is one hurdle people like me have to deal with a lot. Believe me, if I could pull a Thanos, snap my fingers, and create all the Gmod videos I wanted, I would. With all due respect, this is something I can't stress enough. For example, let's take Silliness in Smash, my latest non-Gmod video at the time of recording. This is a straightforward Smash compilation, with edits thrown here and there, all from whenever I played Smash Brothers online in my free time. The video clocks in at 4.9 minutes, and only took less than 3 days to make. The point I'm trying to make here is that something that isn't made in Gmod takes far less time than something made in Gmod. For example, 15 to 30 seconds of footage in a Gmod video typically take up a good portion of an afternoon, and that varies depending on a variety of factors, such as the animation style, if it's voiced, and so forth. If you want a clearer example, it took me about a week to animate just a mere 3 minutes of footage for Quest of the Kirby's Part 3. So, with everything said up to now, this is why I barely have any time to work in Gmod most of the time. Even then, Gmod has its own fair share of problems too, such as load times, crashing, and more. Now then, with all of that said, this all comes down to the core reason of why I want to expand to non-Gmod content, and it's simply because I just want to dish out things that everyone can enjoy while I continue to work on Gmod stuff, which is the big guns. Sure, both still require editing, but like I said, non-Gmod stuff is far less time consuming. Ultimately, I can take what I already know with video editing and then apply it to just about anything else I'd want to do. That's pretty much what the third icon of my new banner stands for, really. With that said, if anyone looks at the zanier stuff on my alternative channel, I've decided that from this point on, stuff like YouTube poops and comic dubs will be on my main channel from now on. Though, some types of videos I wouldn't find fitting for my normal channels, such as Twitter shitposts, will remain on my alternative channel. So, if you know anyone that likes these sorts of things, especially Smash Brothers, please don't hesitate to share my stuff with them. It would really mean a lot to me. So now that I've gotten all of that out of the way, it's time I moved on to the second big thing I want to cover. And since you saw it in the title, I'll get right to the point. After some consideration and planning out, I'm going to be launching a Patreon. For those that don't know, Patreon is a platform where people can support a creator via a membership of sorts, and in exchange for that, people will get perks in return, such as exclusive content, shoutouts, being able to vote in polls, etc. Supporters are charged by each new upload by the creator or by a per month basis, depending on what the creator wants. I know I just talked about what's been keeping me busy, but don't worry. I've set up my Patreon so I can still fulfill the rewards even if they aren't much compared to other Patreon pages. Though, for instance, one perk on my Patreon will be access to work-in-progress footage from future videos. Also, considering I mentioned how the main draw of my channel is Gmod content, for now, my Patreon will only charge patrons for all future Garry's Mod videos. Like I said, it will start this way, so this could change in the future. I do hope you'll consider supporting me through it. It'd be a big help if you do. The link to my Patreon will be at the end of this video and also in the description. By the way, there's actually already some stuff for patrons on there, so I'd give it a look. I think that's just about everything I wanted to talk about, so I'm going to pack it up here. Thanks for taking the time to watch this, and I will see you all in the next video. See y'all later.